Hi everybody, it's Celeste with the Arachne Project. I'm here today to do a collective reading. It's just going to be a general reading, and I'm going to try to tune into like one story today. So we're going to see what's going on for one reader in the collective, one group of readers, because there's usually more than one of us going through the same thing. It's a general reading. If it doesn't fit, you can go ahead and look through my other readings to find one that the title does. I try to title it something from the reading that will, let you know whether it might be for you or not. But also bear in mind that, little parts of it might be for someone else. So if the reading mostly fits, then, go with what feels right to you. So what's going on in the collective today, Spirit? Okay, I'm seeing some disappointment today in the collective. That's really rough around the holidays, which I totally get. I totally get it. The vibe here is one of, again, we get the Justice card. There's something here about that doesn't feel fair to you, and maybe you don't want to complain about it. Maybe you recognize that in the grand scheme of things, it is what it is, but there's a feeling here of justice kind of not being served. Like I've worked so hard for this on the personal level. It's like I've worked so hard for this thing, and it's just not fair that it's not working out for me. You've been waiting, and you've been ready. You have been ready to go with this thing. So this could be about a job. You could be like in a day job search that's not panning out. Maybe you just had a big letdown, something that you really were hopeful about. Maybe the job went to someone else. Or if you're writing, if this is about writing, it could be just that, your submissions aren't panning out. I was looking to see if there was any potential. I'm not seeing anything about relationships here yet, but if something pops up, I will pull them out and tell you about them. Oh, as I say that, we have the King of Cups. King of Cups can definitely be relationship stuff. Could also be you. You could be the King of Cups. That could be another person, though. We always talk about kings as being, they're empowered, right? They're not always using their power properly, but the king he's the boss. She's the boss. If you're a she with king energy, that's cool too. I think we all should be in touch with our inner both genders. And neutrality is a place of balance is cool too. Four of Pentacles. Something about holding on here, and not in a healthy way. Or conversely, it could be about release, knowing that you need to release something. So maybe you're getting ready to release a project. Maybe you're getting ready to release this King of Cups. Or he's releasing you. Whatever it is, you were hanging on to this previously, whatever this was, you were hanging on to it really tightly. You had a really big, tight grip on this. You weren't going to give up, And the Four of Pentacles is about, it can be about doubling down in that I'm never giving up energy to an unhealthy place. Or it can be about realizing that you need to release it. So again, let's pull some more cards so we get the whole story. Emperor on its side. They are telling me, they're telling me that was a message. So it's about trying to, you're either dealing with this balance inside yourself, or it's doubling down on the fact that we have this King of Cups that's kind of not in the, it's not either not in the space that you want it to be in, or it's, it could be somebody else that's, King of Cups is, he's usually not expressing his emotions. He's kind of holding it in. When he's in the reverse, he's not good with his emotions. And with the Emperor out on his side, it's like this tendency to go back and forth between your so-called masculine power. So tendency to either, be too rigid on the one hand, or not structured enough on the other hand. With people, the managing of other people, because there are some relationship vibes here in this reading. And in a relationship, it's not about being disempowered, it's about waffling is what it is. It's like there's some waffling energy going on here, back and forth, like I control my own destiny, knowing this and actually feeling it in your heart space. You're not feeling it in your heart space. Like you know it, you just don't feel it. That's really difficult when you know something in your brain and in your heart. You're not, like you can't just make yourself get there. It sort of happens all at once where all of your like resistance just dissolves. A lot of times it'll just happen in a moment. Okay, temperance, and that's what this is about. This is about being patient. Knowing that you need to be patient with this energy within or without yourself. So you're really trying to be patient here. You want to be in this empowered, knowing when to take action, knowing what the right action is. And you know that that's going to come with patience, but you're just not there yet. You're just not feeling it yet. I want to clarify. I want to get a little more clarity on what this might be for some of you. Again, I'm just digging into scenarios here. And if one scenario doesn't fit you, maybe another one will. Like, don't give up on the reading just because one card doesn't match, but also don't make the whole reading fit. All right, so these guys came out. Okay, so there is a heartbreak here. And this is typically a relationship. We have the heart that's like, she's like wrapped up in this heart is just being torn in two, and she's wrapped up in it. So there's something here about something dying. So usually it's the end of a relationship. But in your heart space, this can be sometimes about something that you poured your heart into, something that you had a lot of hopes and dreams tied up in. Losing that can be very, very difficult. Like letting go of that, whether it's a relationship or a way of being, can be very, very devastating for people. I don't think that we talk a lot about like what the effect of breakups are on people, but we often don't talk about like what it feels like when we break up in a friendship or in a job. Like anybody who's ever had their heart broken by a job knows what I'm talking about, but we don't talk about that. Like you're on to better things, you're on to a better job, and you should definitely not, don't like pull yourself out of it, kind of an energy. And you really need to be with that heartbreak for a little while. Sometimes we have to let ourselves grieve that loss when something didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to, whether it was a relationship or something more practical. The Seven of Cups was the next one that popped out. So this story for somebody else is about feeling like, okay, what my guides are telling me, what this is about for this person or group of people is that you're feeling like, okay, I put all my energy into one of these things and it didn't work out. So you have all these things that you could do with your energy. Like maybe there are other projects or other job possibilities or even other people that you could move toward. And this is about confusion. It's about not knowing which thing is next for you. You're afraid of choosing because you're afraid of losing all of the other things. So like he's got his hand on this one, like he's thinking he's going to take it. But what if he ends up wanting this and then this is gone? So that happens with us, right? And then here we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords, on the bright side, the Page of Swords is about Like she's off on a new, like you have a new, when you make a choice, you get to go off on that journey of learning all of the kind of language of the new journey, it's like a whole, every job is a whole new thing. You have to learn all the language, you have to learn all of the rules, you have to, you kind of become the student again. The Page of Swords she's a student or a messenger. And she's dealing with air. So this is about knowledge. But the Page of Swords also has the energy of leaning into the truth, leaning into higher truths. So maybe through this loss and this recognition that you're not quite in this energy that you want to be in yet, that you're not taking action the way you want to pull yourself out of this. You know that you need to be patient with yourself, and you know that it's only a matter of time before like the mental clarity comes in for what you should be doing. So those are the situations that I'm pulling. Like I said, they don't all have to, you don't have to acknowledge all three of these. I like to give a variety because I know that there's always different ways to read the cards, first of all. But second of all, my guides will tell me that, we need to diversify the reading. So what is this person not seeing? Let me get a different deck of cards because I've already pulled a bunch out of this one. What are you not seeing about this situation? What are you not seeing about this situation? Justice is being served. Isn't that interesting? So while you're lamenting this loss, this thing that didn't pan out, Spirit is telling you that it wasn't for you. They're telling you that justice was served. You're going, it's not fair, it didn't work out. And Spirit is saying, no, we closed a door and we closed it for a reason. You closed the door, you closed it for a reason. Sometimes we lose something and it feels not fair until a couple years later, you're like, wow, I'm glad that didn't work out for me. Glad I didn't get that job. Glad that relationship didn't keep going. What else? Spirit, what else is this person not seeing about the situation? Okay, you can make of this what you want to make of it. That's what Spirit is saying here. Spirit's saying that you have the ability to pull yourself, like you have all the tools you need to keep moving on. The magician is able to make magic wherever he is. He understands that the magic was always inside of him or her. And what Spirit is telling you here is that you aren't recognizing your own power. There's something that you already know, already can do, already have the tools for, that is just sort of sitting there. It's probably under one of these bowls. Like you might be going, if I choose this, I've got to go to college for 4 years to make it happen. Or if I choose this, there's a mountain I have to climb to make it, And so you might be weighing all of these options and the things that you have to do to kind of unlock them. And that can be a real block that can suck up a lot of your time. And Spirit is telling you that you probably don't need unless you're brand new, unless you're like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and like super young, you've probably already climbed some mountains and you can spin those skills into something already. You don't necessarily need to go to a lengthy training program. Like there's always going to be things to learn along the way, but you have all the tools you need to learn it. You don't need to be intimidated by that or let it stop you. 3. All right, they want to talk today, so they're feeling talkative. All right, and then we have the Queen of Cups. Let me give me a minute. I want to see if these are together or separate. Okay, this is a message for somebody. Maybe a few of you, but probably not for everybody. So if this was your King of Cups back here, if this was somebody, if this is your love message, You know, you're letting go of this relationship, whatever it was, thinking it should have worked out. You're the Queen of Cups, okay? And Spirit is saying you have your whole life here to try again. And there was something else in this situation that was like, you can find another relationship that doesn't have, there's something here about 3, so maybe there was another person in this situation. Maybe there, doesn't have to, it could be like another actual person in the relationship, like 3 people, like somebody choosing between 2 people and you didn't get chosen. There's something here about, there's all these people in the world and you can still find the one, okay? I am a believer that everybody has probably multiple people that they can be with. You know, in a world that talks about the one, I do think that, first of all, I do believe in the one, but I don't always believe that we have to be with this one person. I think there's always multiple people that you could choose. And we don't want to get locked in a situation where that one person doesn't want us. Like, that's not good for you. Even, you know, you have to just sort of move on from that. So there's a message here about trusting your worth, knowing that you don't have to put up with this. And that in order to be this true Queen of Cups sort of energy, in order to embody this, we have to believe that we deserve to be in a situation that makes us feel fulfilled. So you're not feeling that yet. You might know it. Again, you might know that. If you thought this person was your person, you might not be really ready to acknowledge that there's somebody else out there for you. Somebody better, someone who's not going to make you feel like this. Pitfalls. I always like to look at the, oh no. Let's do strengths and pitfalls at the same time. So let's do inner strengths and inner pitfalls. Okay, High Priestess reverse. You have to watch out for a tendency to, like, the High Priestess, she goes within. This is like taking it to another level, okay? Like, you can't hide yourself away from the world. And you can't expect everybody, okay, that's what it is. Oh yeah, okay. You can't expect everybody to come to you. Like, you can't expect, if you're not going out and, like, you can't lead if you're not actually engaging with people, okay? There's something about that. I'm not really sure how that relates to the reading. It can also be about, don't use this event as a reason to, like, isolate yourself, because you're not going to get back in the game by isolating yourself. Okay, you are going to clarify. Okay, yeah. You're really overburdened. I think this might have something to do with that thing of, like, this didn't work out and I have all these options. So there is something here about taking the leap. Understanding when to take the leap and when not to. Like all these birds are, they're kind of precariously perched on these wands. This, there's something here about letting go of the struggle, letting go of the burden. There has been a tremendous burden with this situation, and I think it has something to do with that losing out on the thing that you wanted so dearly and not really wanting to entertain these other options. Like you're carrying these other options as a burden. You're carrying the grief and the other options as a burden. And there's something here about stopping the frantic like mind thing that's going on with you, and recognizing that it is time to put that burden down. Okay, and that you can't make a good choice until you lay the burden down. Because if you make a choice, it's so funny, it's something, I'm just going to give you a mom story because it's coming to me right now. But there's something my mom always said about not making a choice when you're in a crisis. You know, you don't make life-changing decisions when you are not in a good frame of mind. Sometimes choices are made for you when you're in that position, and that can feel very, very disempowering. But it's the way to interpret that is really about that idea of forcing the river. The river flows. You don't need to force it. And sometimes we're in that like crisis situation when the thing is fallen apart. You know, when you've lost the opportunity that you were really buying into, that you really wanted. When you've lost that, it can feel like a loss of control. But, you know, when you lose control, do you keep trying to force it, or do you take a minute to say, okay, I'm done with that, and drop the burden, and then you can make choices from where you're at after you drop the burden. But forcing it never going to work out. You know, when you force it, when you're in the water, like forcing it is going to end with a lot of trouble. King of Wands reversed. We have another king in the reverse. Yeah, this is about jumping into another relationship too quickly, if it was relationship related. If it's not about a relationship for you and this resonates for you, it could be about your own King of Wands energy, which is, but it's reversed. So it's like about anger, being mindful of taking impulsive action that serves yourself, that doesn't serve others. Like, it's about being aware that that's something that you could do right now. So like forcing the river, or making the choice that that your ego wants you to make, rather than the one that you're prepared for. So like your ego will have you going back to, you know, retrain yourself in college. Like you'll head off in a totally different direction in college. Some people, you know, you do the big career change, your ego might tell you, oh, well, I want to do this thing, and in order to do it, I need, you know, a PhD to do it. Your ego will have you doing that when you don't need to. The Magician will lead you in a direction that you are already well on your way. You might need a little training, but maybe not so much. So the King of Wands is about arrogance, impulsivity, and making choices that do not serve you or anybody else in the long run. It's really hot-tempered or impulsive energy. Can we get some strengths on the table? Because I want some more good stuff. What's the good stuff? There's too many. These cards are big, so you'll see me throwing them more than others because I don't know what I'm doing shuffling them. But I really like these cards, so it's worth it. Right. Okay, you see that? You see the King of Wands here, reverse, and the Queen of Wands. So your strength is leaning into your so-called feminine energy, on the spiritual concept of feminine and masculine. The spiritual feminine is this is about like knowing your self-worth. It's about confidence. It's about you know, the Queen of Wands can be pretty feisty, but not in an impulsive way. Like, she's connected to her heart, she's connected to her soul, and she's strong, and she knows what's good for her. She knows what's good about her. She knows she's very able to go through her bag of tricks and see what she does well. And she might not know exactly how she's going to get to the finish line, but she knows she can. And the Eight of, I think you're moving out of that trapped energy. Let's clarify. Clarify Eight of Swords. It's kind of an odd card to come up as a strength. I want to make sure. Get some more. Okay. If you're feeling trapped by, okay, so this is like being trapped by old paradigms that you have of yourself, old beliefs you have about yourself, that you are ready to move from this energy into this. You're actually making that transition, probably sooner than you think. If you're stuck in this like overburdened, can't let it go energy, you really want to be free of it, and you understand that this hanging on to old things is not getting you where you want to be. All right, guidance for you, my friend. Here. I pull a few cards from this Wild Offerings deck. Good things to surrender or let go. Surrender to or let go of. And this is about surrendering to your intention and your sanctuary. So intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. Insert your higher power. Sanctuary. A sanctuary resides inside you no matter what's happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath, enter, and sit down at the throne of your own heart. Okay. So it's about being present as you head off in this new direction. Don't be impulsive. Focus on your intention. What is it that you want? How do you want to feel? What are your no's? What are your yeses? And some more guidance for my watcher today, Spirit. Show the world the real you. Yeah, it's about letting go of that. So I think like whatever this was, like it didn't work out because it wasn't for you. So this is your chance to get something going on for yourself, a relationship, a job, a creative project that is aligned with who you really are. This is, you know, whenever we fail, it's an opportunity to try again. It's an opportunity to get back up. And then this whole surrender to the divine. So the thing about authenticity, I hate that word. It's so overused, right? But surrendering to the divine is not just, it's not about like kicking your feet back and letting the divine handle everything. Although there are times in life when that's necessary. What they're saying here is that sometimes when we're trying to force something to happen, you know, a relationship to stay, to force ourselves to, you know, keep at it. I'm going to make this project work. I'm going to find a place for it. sometimes we get in this place of like over trying. We're like a try hard, right? We're trying too hard to get results, trying too hard to make people like us, trying too hard in a relationship that just isn't giving back to us for whatever reason, because the other person's heart isn't in it. So showing the world the real you, surrendering to the divine, is about relaxing and knowing that the divine has another partner for you, right? So like if this didn't work out, has another partner, another project for you. When this one didn't work out, there's something else there for you. But you have to surrender your force on this old thing in order to get to it. So that's my reading for you guys today. I hope this was helpful for some of you. We are in the end of the year, and I just want to let people know that I've been restructuring my coaching prices for 2021. And I'm doing a sale right now for the holiday season where you can book a mentorship with me, and you don't have to start it right away. So like if you're like, my life is not going to clear up until after the holidays or in February, if you want to book with me into the new year, you can reserve your spot right now. My mentorships are 25% off, and at the new year, those prices will be going back to normal. And I'll be adding some services. I'm still thinking on it, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna try out a new service because people have wanted tarot readings from me, and I've been wanting to figure out a way that I could offer them and still feel like I'm in my coaching energy, because as much as I love reading tarot, I want to be able to empower you. So I'm gonna probably be rolling out a few slots to give it a try to do some tarot coaching, where you'll sign up for a coaching session and we'll do a tarot reading, and then I will give you recommendations when we're done. After we've talked through your reading, I'll give you recommendations of like stones you can work with. If you like doing candle magic, I can give you a really, really simple thing that you can do to work on your empowerment around the issue that we've done the reading with. So keep your eye on my space for that, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.